IBM just dropped a $150 billion bombshell, and it's not just a flex. It's a blueprint for America's high-tech future. From AI-powered mainframes to quantum machines built on US soil, this move is bigger than it looks. It's about controlling supply chains, avoiding global shocks, and proving that tariffs may have just sparked the biggest tech reshoring wave in a generation.
Gary, moving, we're going to talk about IBM. They committed to spend $150 billion to expand U.S. production, mainframes, quantum computers, tariffs for the win. We have there in the written version of the 5 things. Gary, thing number 2, IBM makes major U.S. tech commitment. Huge news.
Yeah, so again, I am really excited about this one. I think a couple of weeks ago, we took a victory lap for the country when we found out, that NVIDIA had started high-end production of their Blackwell chips here in the US. IBM, is the next one in line, just announcing $150 billion of commitments into U.S. manufacturing. That'll happen over the next 5 years. The plan is to expand its American mainframe and quantum computing systems. This is the high-end stuff that needs to be done. IBM cited that they wanted to avoid supply chain shocks, and they're deepening their U.S. manufacturing footprint. These new mainframes that are going to be produced in the U.S. will rely heavily on AI systems. And so, IBM noted that scaling AI isn't just about software, but also the underlying hardware, which U.S. manufacturing is going to be able to produce. We think this is a huge, huge win. It's one of the largest shifts in tech production that, we've seen in my lifetime. I'm sorry, by shifts, I mean shift back into the U.S. as opposed to the constant outsourcing. In my opinion, having more ultra high-end technology hardware manufacturing being done in the US is best case scenario from the tariff situation. So we're excited about this one.
Gary, with this, obviously we've been talking tariffs this entire year. Both sides arguing for and against them in regards to what President Trump's doing. Does this show progress that this economic plan is working? Is there gain that's to be paired with pain, or maybe that initial reshuffling and pain that we're seeing when these tariffs were announced or conversations started around these tariffs?
Yeah, so, Rob, one of the things that I think President Trump has done that was very smart was he didn't say, he says tariffs will be wonderful and marvelous and huge and terrific. He's a man who likes to speak in superlatives. But he was also honest with the American people and said there's going to be some pain. Right? This is going to be uncomfortable for a while. And he's right about that. The truth is the United States has spent the better part of the last half century selling off our manufacturing capacity, reshoring that, rebuilding, training people for that. None of that is going to happen instantly, and there will be some pain up front. But again, this kind of new high-level technology production, like we talked about with NVIDIA producing their Blackwell chips here, now IBM with $150 billion of AI-based mainframe and quantum computing production here, that's the best possible outcome from this tariff-driven reshoring. Again, it is going to take some years. We're going to take some pain first. But if this ends up with us reversing years of industrial capacity, that's been migrating to international locations, it'll create thousands more highly skilled jobs and technology clusters here in the United States. This is stuff the United States has not seen in years. So we're excited to see it. I think it is definitely a huge plus for the country. And it's one of the things that I've said all along is I would like to see people be honest about the totality of their arguments. Right now, the pro-tariff, pro-Trump people are saying, look, we have all these new jobs, and they're ignoring the costs and the pain that we're going to take, and that's not completely honest. On the other side, every week on FinX and in the Wall Street Journal, I'm reading about people castigating the president for tariffs. They're saying it's horrible, it's terrible, it's the worst economic decision they've ever made, but they're ignoring literally trillions of dollars of new investment in the United States. They're ignoring tens, maybe hundreds of thousands of new high-tech jobs that are being added. And that should be part of the conversation. All I'm saying is whether you're in favor of tariffs or against them, when you have a discussion about it, you should be able to understand and articulate the good points on the other side and evaluate the whole situation in its total complexity. And that's what we're trying to do here.
Yeah, makes total sense, Gary. And in terms of just letting everything play out, I think that's part of what we need to see happen as well. And we'll talk more about that coming up in this next point. You'll know what I mean in a second. But before we do that, you're watching this week's version of the 5 things the tariffs giveth and taketh away issue. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Give us thumbs up, thumbs down if you disagree. Tell us why. Have some conversation and discourse in the comments. And as always, you can head to our website, deepknowledgeinvesting.com. Put in your email to the pop-up. You'll be added to our email list, receive all of our new posts. Some of those will be paywalled for premium subscribers who get access to all content and obviously current recommendations and buy and sell alerts when Gary's making moves within the portfolio.